So maybe the world's an illusion, maybe it's not. Regardless, if it's an illusion, if it's not, we still experience being here. So the real question is, so what? What do we do in the experience of being here?
Okay, yeah, I like the so what. Maybe it's an illusion, maybe it's reality, maybe it's both. Maybe we're a figment of someone's computer program, or maybe there's a God sitting up just outside the universe with puppet strings. Maybe a lot of things. But let me say this. If we were to imagine a bar graph, and at the top of that bar graph is what we call someone who's totally in touch with reality, and at the bottom of that bar graph, someone who's totally out of touch with reality, we could call someone at the bottom of that graph who is completely out of touch with reality as we know it, we could call them insane, catatonic, delusional. So at the other end of that graph, at the higher end, we could call them sane or even enlightened. To be in touch with reality as it is, suchness, isness, as the Buddhists call it, without any extras, because we create extras. One writer said, the lesson is simple, the student is complicated. We complicate everything. Life unfolds simply. For example, I know a fairly illumined friend who I called up on the telephone about 2 days after 9/11 occurred. And most people were walking around a little bit in a daze, kind of in a trance, recovering from this trauma. And I asked him if he had anything to say. And he said, yes, I do. He said, I'm going to go out and mow the lawn because the grass keeps growing. That's somebody who was in touch with the reality, the immediacy of the present moment. He couldn't do anything about 9/11, but he could mow his lawn. In the here and now. That may sound like a callous statement. Maybe he should be running around miserable for all the people who died and suffered. But, I found that going around moping in the world doesn't help anybody. Joseph Campbell said it beautifully. He said, we're here to live with joy among the sorrows of the world. And that can sound callous too. But again, when you consider it, which would we rather bring into life, some joy or sorrow? We'll experience both. But, well, that brings us into another topic, but perhaps related topic. What does it mean to be in touch with reality? How do we live? How do we see the world that's different from other people? Because I'll tell you, from my perspective now, there is a great deal of illusion, idealistic notions in the world today. I often ask audiences, people, please raise your hand if you read a book on positive thinking. Positive thoughts, power of positive mental attitude. Lots of hands go up. Then I go, would you please keep your hand up if you've only had positive thoughts for, say, the last week? All the hands go down. Maybe there's one goofy person sitting there going, but they certainly don't meditate, or they would know better. Because sometimes their thoughts are positive and sometimes they're negative. It's quite natural. But people think, oh, if I'd only read the positive thinking book twice, if I'd done all the exercises, if I'd highlighted all the important parts, then I too would be having more positive thoughts and fewer negative ones. It's an idealistic notion. It doesn't apply to reality. Reality, and people hear truth, they recognize it when they hear it. Sometimes our thoughts, again, are positive, and sometimes they're negative. It's true for me too, and I've been around the track. I've done a great deal of work, many kinds of meditations over many years, and still I have positive thoughts, negative thoughts, petty thoughts, jealous thoughts, happy thoughts, altruistic thoughts. Every kind of thought pops up and goes, and I don't know why. Maybe because of the pizza I ate the night before, or my biorhythms, or astrological transits, or circumstances I'm surrounded by. It's perfectly natural to have all kinds of thoughts. That's not a problem. I'm no longer at war with my mind. So I focus on accepting my thoughts and feelings, whatever they are, as natural to me in the moment, and I focus on constructive action.